all over the place there.
Yeah, we don't want it as a wing turbulence.
Turn right heading 240, contact departure.
240 on the heading to departure, JetBlue 1887.
But he was still on the runway, so that's my point. Yeah, Tower, sorry about the questioning. I just thought he was over the gun.
996, roger.
Oh, basically I was saying, chill your heels.
Ready for departure on 15.
Now, you notice my speed coming in, we're doing touch and goes, they're on flaps or anything. We're just going to goof around, touch and go. I always like to get these people that like to watch airplanes coming in.
Oh yeah, I've been here before.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
What, in JetBlue? Oh, sitting there, you mean? You've been there, sitting what?
Yeah, sitting, watching the planes, yeah.
So now we're landing. I'm looking at the very end of the runway, and I got no power here. I'm using the energy of the airplane and understanding how it works just enough to kind of try to touch down as nice as I can if the wind doesn't throw me on the ground. Right? Just keep that up nice. Nose comes down, last. Okay? And bring it back on the center. Looks good. I'm not stopping. I told them touch and go. And I'm going to carb heat. Get that trim out of there and get the airplane going again. Airspeed, I already got it, so I can come off the ground pretty quick. So I already have it. Staying right down the center line, and if I do that, that's going to tell me what the winds are doing. I can feel it as I'm doing this. See, the winds are slightly coming from this direction. See how we're crabbing here?
Yep.
But if you notice, it didn't do that until I got up a little higher. So it's always different at different altitudes. It's never like equal everywhere. It doesn't work that way. If it was, we'd have no pressure changes. All right. So now, staying this low, normally I would climb faster, but I'm just going to I'm going to goof with you a little bit here. Have some fun. And we're going to turn out to heading at 240. And like I said, at 996, we're turning 240, departing the area.
What button do you press to talk to them?
What's that?
What button do you press to talk to the air traffic control?
Yours is the red one.
Oh, okay.
Side proceeding southbound, runway 15 at Echo, cleared for takeoff.
So I'm turning 240 on a heading, see? So turn right turn, little right rudder, straighten it out. This is a coordinated turn to a heading, and I'm climbing. Climbing to the right. So you know why they call it climbing right turn?
Because you're
climbing right turn.
Going to the right.
I asked somebody that, and they go, I had no clue. Yeah, fly the plane. So keep me on this heading now. See if you can keep me on a 240 heading. And we're going to climb up to about 2,500 feet. There you go. Roll the wings level, though. Don't be afraid to squeeze and push that thing and make it do what you want to do. Now get the nose down. There you go, so you can see the horizon and then make it flat against the horizon. So you can actually look for a certain, like, let's say that's 2 inches, and that's going to allow me to see the horizon, see? So just push it forward, just like that, and make it stay there. Because remember, the air will knock you all over the place. And you say, no, you don't. Boom, boom, boom. I win, like that. See? There you go. So we're going to level off at this altitude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level down. Now that's a level look right there, and I can verify that when this settles down to do that. I bring some power back. Unless I want to haul butt. And I'm going to level this around 2,500. So now you notice there's pressure still in there. So you push against that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now try to get it so the pressure stays there, and then I roll the wheel, and now let go of the pressure. See it? So now I just make small adjustments, and now we're back to flying level. Basically heading at 240, heading back to Southwick.
Very cool.
It is cool. What do you think? You want to do this?
Absolutely.
It is fun. And it is fun. I mean, there's a lot of things I could show you way beyond this, but flying, going places, doing it's just really cool stuff. It really is. Especially when you get the instrument part of it. Yeah, so the way, let's say your flame is high. You're going to go private pilot, okay, instrument, commercial, and then even ATV if you want. But most people do is they become a flight instructor because they can build hours if they were going somewhere with a career.
Right.
And that helps you build up time. Plus, you're also honing your skills by teaching. You're learning all the time. You teach it. How can I explain that better? Do you get this? You don't? All right, let me think. And a lot of times, even when I'm home, I'm thinking of something. I got a guy, and I'll give you an example. I got a guy that has 200 hours, has never sold yet. So how do do you handle that situation? So to me, it's intriguing. Maybe he can't fly. Maybe he just never can get it. I don't know. But I'm going to give him a shot and see where it's at, and see while I'm teaching him that different kind of direction, it's going to help me as well. Well, because everybody learns differently. Like I said, if I say a word VOR and these things, like some people, I wouldn't even go near that area because they don't have the basics yet. But today, you're doing a Top Gun. When I do a Top Gun, I throw it all at you. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. And you can learn this, you can learn anything. You really, I mean, flying's not hard. What are you doing right now? You're just sitting there. No, you're just aiming it. That's our 996 clear to southwest.
996, frequency change approved. Good day.
Good day. Have a good day. So I go back over 220, and I want to go to Southbridge, and here, I know it's over this way, but if I want to say, well, here it is, it's 7 miles, and it's T21 on the heading, so it's just over this way here. Now, if I wanted to know exactly, I can highlight that, direct, enter, it's going to draw me a little line, or I can use this here, whatever I got, and there it is, you see? So what we're going to do is we're going to come around on the west side of the field, we're going to come on a downwind for runway 2.
Runway 3 is headed back.
Neat stuff, it really is. You gotta love it. So what was it that lit your flame? We kind of got distracted there.
I just kind of randomly saw a YouTube video.
You know, that's how I learned to play guitar.
Really?
The Beatles, when I was 15, the Beatles came out, lit me up like a tree. I grabbed the broomstick in the kitchen. I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool. And I learned to play guitar. I've been playing guitar. I've played professionally for years. But it was the Beatles that just struck the match. And that's it. All you need is somebody to light that match.
Exactly.
That's why we do intros, because it'll either light your fire or it'll put it out, one of the two, you know. And I had this one kid one time, he was, when I was at Worcester, he was very adamant about learning to fly.
Yeah.
He says, oh, I do sims all the time, and if I'm too loud, too, by the way, this is...
oh, no, you're fine.
Okay. And he was doing on sims all the time, and we were fighting the weather to finally get a good day. It was perfect, beautiful day. Took him flying, doing almost kind of less than what I'm doing with you, believe it or not. And we come back, he goes, nah, not what I thought. So he didn't fly. But that's good, at least he knew, and that's why we do an intro, because like I said, it'll strike the match or not. Now look at the runway shape there, see it? So we just passed the center of runway 20 going that way. So we're landing this way, so we got to go on what's called the downwind leg. So right now, if I called Southbridge, we're 5 out to what? Where are we? So if I aim it this way, they're there, we're here. See? So we happen to be northeast. So if I go, Southbridge Traffic Skyhawk 53996 is 6 miles out northeast, be inbound for a landing runway 2, Southbridge. See? So I just told the traffic that's concerned what I'm doing, where I am. As it gets closer, I'll let them know I'm on a downwind. Okay. So the downwind, all it does is it parallels the runway. Well, how far out do I know? Well, the TPA, which is traffic pattern altitude, is 1,700. At 1,700 feet, I should look at the strut, and the runway should appear to be about mid-strut. See? And if I see that, it's just an indication. It's rule of thumb. So now you see it is still bumpy. I'm almost questioning whether I should take, I got to look at this other kid and see. I may not take him up today because, I don't know, if it's too bumpy, it's not enjoyable. And again, that's why if you strike a match, and that's why I was weird with that kid, because it was absolutely a beautiful calm day. Now this lit your fire more, I hope, all right, and that's good. Now in this kid here, this might put his fire out real quick. Oh, I ain't gonna do this, you know, because maybe he can't tolerate it. I could be wrong. I don't know that yet. Now, carb heat, remember this? Here's how this works, simply. If I put the carb heat on, I'm getting heat into that carburetor. If you ran your hand across a flame really fast, nothing, right? If you go real slow, burn. So same thing with the air. As I'm slowing down, the air going through that venturi is slowing down. As it slows down, the pressure changes. It can get cold, 32-ish, whatever, lower than that, and it'll ice up. So if there's any moisture in the air, it starts sticking to the sides. Next thing you know, closes it off, and that's it.
Traffic, Skyhawk 2467, Quebec, 7 miles west, inbound 3 Minuteman.
Tower Traffic Skyhawk is entering on a left downwind runway 2 southward. Okay, that's a piece of cake. Now I'm descending down little by little. I want to be about 1,700. If everybody does the same thing, that's standardization. and you need to standardize certain things, and you have to do that. So how we talk on the radio, you know, a lot of people, this one guy's a private pilot, he says to me, do I have to say Niner? I said, are you serious? How long have you been a private pilot? I said, no, you don't have to say Niner. They do that because back then when they were talking, nine was German and all, so, you know, Fife, and they say tree. I say, you want to talk like that? Yeah, go ahead. You don't have to. It was funny. So you learn anything?
A lot. It's a lot of information.
I know, I talk too much. I know.
No, it's great. It's great, though. It's nice to finally see everything, you know, in action.
2 Delta Sierra, we overflying the airfield, midfield at 3,000, heading from north to south.
You know what I'm trying to do. So what we do later down the road, we're going to do what's called turns around a point. It all relates back to the airport. My distance from the airport.
2467 Quebec is 5 miles west, inbound 3 Minuteman.
Okay, so what I'm learning how to do is I know, here's the center of gravity of this plane, right here. And I'm measuring from here to the window to the struts and keeping an equal distance from that point, see? And now when I get to be in the numbers, I want to slow down the go down. So I'm going to start, remember we're going to get in that slow area is what we're doing right now. So I come here, I got carb heat on, I'm going to bring us about 1700. Somewhere around here. I'm going to start trading off airspeed for altitude. Okay? And I'm going to start trimming this a little bit. I'm going to bring 1 notch of flaps only and see. I'm going to put it in what's called a landing attitude, which makes sense. We're going down. But now I got to judge. Am I too high, too far, too low? This is the key point is where I decide where I'm going to turn base. Normally, if you look between the wing and the tail, that's about 45 degrees. That's when you can do. You see how the winds push me out? I'm actually letting that do that because as I turn here, my headwind is going to slow up a little bit. Because the winds are basically, it seems to be out of the probably northeast, I guess. It's not Worcester again.
Flight service. Head volume.
Traffic, Bonanza is 9 south, 2500, landing 03.
Worcester Airport, information Victor, 1554 Zulu weather.
Minuteman traffic, 67 Quebec is 3 miles.
Winds calm. It's still out of that direction, I can see it. South Traffic Skyhawk on base, runway 2, Southbridge. Now I always tell all my students, the shorter the final, shorter the runway, the longer the final, and that gives you time. So final, what does it mean? Final, it means you're finally going to land the plane, I guess. And what I'm looking to do is have enough room to fix it. And yeah, I can fix things quick, I understand it, but a student learning this, I try to give them the right way to look at something. So, and the whole thing is teach the basic. It is mechanical. It's like if I gave you a painting that had numbers on it, you can do it. I said, well, now do the same thing without those numbers, and that's what you're going to do.
5403, Minuteman.
South Traffic Skyhawk, final runway 2, full stop Southbridge. My power's out. I'm going to use the energy. I'm going to trim it, make it feel the way I want it. Not high nose down, but it's a sink rate. I'm sinking. If I pitch, that's going to maintain the airspeed. But if I want to go slower, same thing. I can either add flaps. Now watch, I'm going to dump the flaps there. And then it's going to create, you feel that drag, see the pressure changing? But I'm actually going to leave that, and the pressure will actually calm itself down. See it? So I can sometimes hold that, but if I need to trim it, I will. Hands on the throttle, got a little bit of a crab, it's not much.
Traffic, Skyhawk 67 Quebec is down.
So now we get shaded runway, I keep that all the way down, the airspeed looks good. Now if I get too low, I can just bring in a little bit of power to stop that sink rate. See? Now as I get over runway here, and I got to kick that nose straight. So now here's where the rudders come in, is I'm actually letting this airplane fly down the center. I'm going to keep it off, keep it off, keep it off, keep it off. Now it touches. See? Now if there's wind, I would be into the wind. Now since there is no wind, all I'm calling, guess what this is doing?
That's keeping the
drag. It's creating drag. Like throwing one of the, you ever see the jets when they land? Some of them they had the parachute.
Yeah.
That's our parachute.
Oh.
Hey, off.
And
flaps up.
I always want to keep the nose up as much as possible, right?
Sorry for that noise. What was that?
You also want to keep the nose like up to like the last second. You want to let the plane.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the way we look at it is this way. If you're landing, I always tell you, try to touch the end of the runway, but never let the nose go and hide the runway on you. If you do that, you're going to usually get a good landing all the time. Kind of park this over here. Let's not just target. So now remember I was talking about shutting it down?
Yep.
Same thing. So what am I doing? This is all good, trim's all good, carb heat, flaps are all up, landing lights off, so electrical, next to your master key. But I need the radio's off, so electrical's all off. Why didn't I go off? That's kind of weird. Okay. Got a bad switch. Alright, well it doesn't, so I can't shut it up. If I can't shut it up, that's kind of interesting. Alright. There must be a little gremlin running around this time. That's weird. Alright, so normally I would shut the radio and everything off anyway, but it's not going to hurt anything. So I'm going to shut it down. It's got to be mixture. So pull that all the way out.
Mixture?
Yeah, just push the red button while you pull it out. Then that's going to shut the engine down. Now take the master switch and shut that off.